With that, welcome inside our studio in this edition of Big Ten Today. I'm your host, Rick Pizzo. Excited to head to Eugene for a check on Oregon training camp in just a bit. Also, a terrific conversation with Ohio State insider Doug Lesmerises on the 2026 Buckeyes and why Ryan Day is embracing such a tough schedule. But we begin with the big story and Ohio State's biggest rival, Michigan. Wednesday, marking yet another step toward the official opening of the Kyle Whittingham era in Ann Arbor, as the Wolverines went nearly full speed in full pads for the first time since opening summer camp. As Michigan sponsor Michael Jordan may have happily noted, the Maize and Blue now 23 shopping days away from their season opener against Western Michigan, a game set to be played under the Michigan Stadium lights on September the 5th. It may be Coach Witt's first go-round in Ann Arbor, but this is a guy who has done nothing but win for 2+ decades. In fact, Whittingham ranks third among all active head coaches, regardless of conference, with 177 wins, trailing only the legendary Kirk Ferentz and Clemson's Dabo Swinney. Our training camp crew checked in with Coach Whittingham and the Wolverines on Wednesday, and now they share all their insights from Ann Arbor.
Rick, thanks so much. Joined by Jerry DiNardo and Jake Budd after watching Michigan go through its paces. First practice we've been able to see this fall under new head coach Kyle Whittingham. Interested, just big picture in your takeaways from what you saw.
It was what I expected, right? It's a program that's based on line play, both offensively and defensively. They've got talent. They've got a young quarterback that they're going to have to protect. So really no surprises, just curious about how much progress they can make from today to their first game.
Yeah, and to your point there, it looks like a Michigan football team. Like the trenches on both sides of the ball are full of big, talented, athletic players. There was great competition at the line of scrimmage. But then as you go further and further out, I think the secondary could be one of the best in college football. And I'm really impressed. There's a lot of youth at the skill position on offense. 2 sophomores are going to be your wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2. And J.J. Buchanan really stood out to me with a big, long catch radius. I think that's going to help out Bryce Underwood.
Yeah.
Andrew Marsh is, of course, the known commodity, the other wide receiver. But you're right, Buchanan really looked great. And while we're talking about young guys on the offense, I feel like we need to talk about Savion at some point. So maybe we ought to just talk about him now. Again, every once in a while you see one of these players who you just are wowed by from the get-go. One that I remember distinctly on our tour is Saquon Barkley. I believe Howard and I kind of had our jaws. We had to pick up off the ground when we saw him. Savion Hyder gives you the same feel. Man, he is talented.
For me, Hyder got me excited in the spring game. They split up the offensive line, which means the defense is probably going to win the scrimmage, which is what happened. But every time that he was about to get tackled, he would lean forward. Yeah. I think one of the coaches termed it a competitive balance. He has great competitive balance, and he does. And then as soon as he stopped making contact with the shoulder pads, he was back up. Yeah. So he really impressed me in the spring game, and he did nothing not to impress me today as well.
I wouldn't be shocked if he leads college football in broken tackles or forced missed tackles. He'll certainly be towards the top of it. But then the other thing is when you're an elite running back, you have to be able to carry the ball. He can certainly do that. It's all the other little things that I think stand out to me. He's trusted and great in pass pro. Saw him catch some balls out of the backfield today. Those are things that usually take some time for young running backs to develop, and he's got it down right away. Jordan Marshall and him together, they're going to run the football. Having 2 of them is going to be better for both of them so they can stay healthy throughout the season.
Right. I mean, Jordan Marshall was in the top 2 in the Big Ten in yards after contact last year. So this is
that's splitting carries with Haynes to start the season.
Yeah, this is a backfield that's going to be very difficult to bring down. You alluded to Bryce Underwood. We've kind of talked around him a little bit, but ultimately, outside of the new coaching staff, this is the biggest story here. Bryce Underwood and this passing game, not where they needed it to be a year ago to be a championship team. I'm interested from each one of you on the degree of progress that you think has been made there.
Well, he's certainly made progress. Is he ready to play a game? I don't think he is, and I think it's going to be right down to the wire. I think he's going to need every day between now and the start of the season. He's obviously improved. He's going to be supported by a good defense and a good run game. He's just going to have to make good decisions. You know what? When someone's that talented coming out of high school, they did things in high school that no one else could do. And they overcompensated. Let's say if he had a bad offensive line in high school, which I don't know if he did or not, but he's got to get out of that mode. He has to understand if it's not there, throw it away. If it's not there, just run straight ahead. Don't start scrambling where you could be in danger of losing yardage. Just minimize the damage. And I think it'll come to him. It's just going to take game experience.
To your point, I mean, talent can sometimes work against you, bumping up to the college level, because you don't need to have great habits. You don't need to anticipate defensive coverages. But the positive thing is, especially with this staff, we saw what Jason Beck and his staff did last year with Devin Dampier, a very similar quarterback that's truly dual threat. I think the staff is going to unlock some of the legs, especially for Bryce Underwood. But in terms of the growth, growth is exponential early on, right? He's going to turn 19 here in a few weeks. There is an opportunity for him to take those big strides that I think we both think he needs to take, so he is ready for the season.
And as Coach Wood has made public, he's always in the facility. He's always studying the game. He's got great work habits. He wants to learn the game. And that's the basis of everything a quarterback does.
And Jason Beck had the second best rushing attack in the country last year. That will help a lot. And to your point, a lot of that had to do with Devin Dampier and his ability to use his legs. So perhaps he can take some of that pressure off. Another thing that takes the pressure off a quarterback is a really good defense. What did you make of Jay Hill's unit, an area where Michigan has clearly excelled here in the last decade or so?
I think up front they'll be as good as anybody that they play, and we've talked about the schedule. And the back end, I think they're not quite as good as the front, but they'll get there. And I think the biggest question mark is, can the linebackers come and be complement to a really good front and a really good back end?
I think going into camp, I felt really good about their starters across the board. But talking to the players and watching practice, particularly on the defensive line, interior and exterior, they got some depth. I mean, they feel really good about their depth. And then they have the special players like a John Henry Daly. The same thing is starting to be developed in the secondary with, you got Jair Hill, you got Smith Snowden, you got Zeke Berry. There's your starting three defensive backs, but they feel really good about a guy, Shamari Earls, who's an underclassman. So the depth is starting to come along, and that's what you always want in camp.
Yeah, you know, and it's good timing, too, because the spread's kind of leaving college football. We're starting to come back to a pro-style offense where it's run game, where it's complicated pass protections, where it's play action. And to defend that, you need to have a good defensive line, especially two guys on top of the guards that'll push the pocket back.
And those trends that are developing in college football are trends that Kyle Whittingham feels very comfortable with. And I think that the ethos of Michigan feels very comfortable with, right? I mean, to run a pro-style attack, to play great defense, those are things that Michigan has done for a long time, things that Kyle Whittingham has done. And the biggest observation, I think, to take away from this, from where I sit, is it just feels like a fit. It's a perfect fit, a good marriage of what Kyle Whittingham likes to do, what this fan base is used to, and where this place has succeeded for so many years. Rick?